Hello and welcome to the SEO plus AI show. My name is Josh. Let's do some SEO in an SEO course, Bashinsky. Today I have my co-host with me, as always, Greg Bassani. Say hi there, Greg.
Hey guys. Hey Josh, how are you doing today?
I'm doing excellent because today we are continuing on with our SEO course. And today is a very interesting part of the course, which is how to do OnPage. So we're going to show you how to find the boosting keywords that are going to boost your OnPage. There's a whole host of keywords you're going to want that we're going to talk about. And I'm going to show you how to put them in your page, where to put them in your page. Today is where a lot of the rubber hits the road. And so that's what we're going to get to today. As promised, what we're talking about today is how to do on-page SEO. I'm teaching this SEO course in just a bunch of short tips that have longer videos if people want more information. And so in that process, we are now at SEO tip number 11. Write your on-page content with AI faster than your competitors while maintaining superior white hat quality. So that's SEO tip number 11. Write your on-page content with AI faster. It's very important about the faster part than your competitors, while also, another very important part, maintaining superior white hat quality. Hey guys, let's get real. It's 2024. And if you can't do high quality SEO, if you can't produce white hat content, you're not going to survive in SEO very much longer. I'm sorry, but the days of thin content SEO are done. Another thing you need to keep in mind for OnPage is it's not 2001. It's not 2002. This SEO game has been going on now for almost 30 years, right? It's been going on for 20, 25 years now. That's how long I've been doing it, 25 years, since around 1998. A lot of the niches that make a lot of money, as you can imagine, not only do they have a lot of competitors, they've had generations of competitors that have risen and fallen, right? There has been, on payday loans, on herbal Viagra, on, divorce lawyer, Los Angeles, whatever it is, all these niches that are highly competitive that make a lot of money, on asbestos lawsuit, all the niches in SEO that make a lot of money. We've had generations now of competitors rise and fall, of doing the SEO of the day, right? Whatever the SEO of the day was, the opinions of the SEOs of yesteryear, of the forebears of SEO. It sounds like I'm like a Tolkien movie, right? In the beginning, Morgoth and the elves were fighting. In the beginning, Google and the SEOs were fighting. And there's been generations of SEO being done on the expensive queries. And so in previous tips, I've explained the importance of doing SEO faster. You got to do faster. Your competitors, it's a race. On previous tips, I've talked about the importance of finding the easier niches to rank for that still are making a lot of money. That is very important for SEO. Again, go back and watch those tips or videos if you haven't seen that. But now I want you to keep in mind if this concept of going faster for doing your on-page SEO. On-page SEO is one of the most important aspects of SEO. It used to be, it's always been important. If you did not say the right keywords in your page, you simply would not rank. That has been the same for 25 years, right? That has not changed and that will not change. Off-page SEO is not this magical thing that controls all of SEO. Maybe practically for the last, 25 years, 20 years, that's where most of our attention went because that's where we had to spend a lot of money. And that's where the arms race of Google versus the SEOs kind of moved into that battlefield. And that's why we focused all our attention there. And we thought that's all SEO is. But if you ask any SEO, if you put their boots to the fire and you say, hey, really, is that all SEO is? They'll say, no, of course not. If you don't say, except for like 1 or 2 years, you could do this link bombing thing. Remember back in like 2001 to 2005, when George W. Bush was the president of the United States, some people did a link bombing kind of joke campaign where you could search the keyword stupid idiot or something like that. And hey, I didn't do this. I'm just saying historically this happened. You could search for the keyword stupid idiot and a picture of George Bush would come up. And why is that? Because they built millions of backlinks that the keyword text for the backlink was stupid idiot and it pointed to an image of George Bush. That was called link bombing. And during those days, off-page SEO could override on-page SEO. But other than those like 2 years where that worked, otherwise, the entirety of SEO has been on-page SEO. If you do not say the right keywords in your page, you cannot, not statistically, it's unlikely, you cannot rank for the query if you're not saying the right query words in your page. And it is no different now in 2024, and it will be no different in 2025, 2026, 2027. That's going to continue on because now Google is using artificial intelligence to read the page like a quality rater. They used to have, for those last 25 years, another major thing has changed. They used to have human quality raters. And the human quality raters would look at the, you guessed it, quality of a page, and they'd rate, that's why it's in the name, quality raters. They'd rate the quality of these pages, and they'd say, in a human system, and they would take like an archetype of a page, like a page that's like the essence of a bunch of pages, and they would rate how well that page did, and then all those kinds of pages would get demoted, or all those kind of pages would get boosted. Now, Google is laying off these quality raters in 2024. There's tons of articles about that. You can go Google it, check it out. I'm telling the truth. And that's because they're moving over to the large language model type artificial intelligence. They probably have Palm 2 or Gemini, one of their big honkin' AIs, is on a daily, real-time basis rating the quality of your pages. And so for OnPage these days, not only do you have to say the specificity words, the specific words, like for example, if I want to rank for chiropractor Winnipeg, Manitoba, I have to have that word in there somewhere, those words in there somewhere in important places, which I'm going to tell you and talk to you about today. But also I have to have semantic keywords in there. I need to have related words, synonym words, things like that in there. And the AI that I'm going to show you finds them automatically for you. So you don't have to do 20 hours of testing. You can do this in 2 minutes instead. So you need to have the semantic keywords. But you also need to have the helpful keywords. You need to have the words that the quality rater AI will see that you are being helpful. You say the helpful things that the other helpful experts say. In fact, the AI has determined if a human wanted to be helped by this page, you've helped even more by giving these factual tips and these factual tips. And it has to be factual. And Google has said it has to be factual. We can tell lies from facts. They've been trying to do that with their knowledge graph kind of AIs for a very, very long time. So you need the semantic keywords, you need the helpful keywords. What else do you need to do? Well, Google has this acronym for OnPage, for what the AI looks at for on your page. You need to show that you have experience in this topic. You need to talk about the topic in a way that all the other experts out there with experience talk about the topic. You need to say certain key buzzwords that the experts say, right? And this is like, if you ever heard of someone with a PhD, or if you ever heard someone who's really well trained in a discipline, they use certain jargon, they use certain catchwords, right? That tells you that they are an expert in their field. You need to be saying the exact same words, but it's not so easy as just thinking of the biggest jargon and saying it that way. You don't have to use highfalutin jargony words unless that niche also uses highfalutin jargony words, right? So you need to know Google's trying to make it as hard as possible for you to rank if you are not an expert, because they only want to rank the experts in that particular subject matter. So you need to have an AI that analyzes this niche for you to determine what the expert words are to begin with in the first place. The experience words and the expert words. That's part of the EAT acronym, EEAT. Is an acronym that Google's used forever to guide their quality raters, and now the quality raters, and to guide the white hat SEOs, but now the quality raters are an AI that rates the quality of a page in real time. AIs are looking at your page and rating the quality of it, and they're punting you out of the SERP if you have a thin content page. Undeniably, we know this is the case, right? What else do you need to do? You need to talk about it in an authoritative way to show that you're an authority. Again, by using those expert words or those words that show your experience. And therefore, they will trust you. That's what EAT stands for. Experience, expertise, authority, and trust. Therefore, they will trust you, trust your page. That could also be talking about the kind of link outs you make. That could also be talking about the kind of references you have out there, people talking about you and things along those lines. The buzz you're generating for yourself, all those kinds of things. That gets more into on and off page thing. But it also talks about the kind of references and stuff and citations you're doing on your page as well, possibly in that case. And then the last piece of the puzzle for your on page is something called QDF, or Query Deserves Freshness. Query Deserves Freshness is this acronym that Google came up with, and it means that certain searches deserve freshness. I mean, certain searches deserve timely information. And so that's the last T in the acronym that I've come up with, which is SHEET, which is semantics, helpfulness, experience, expertise, authority, trust, timeliness. You need the sheet. You have to be the sheet. You have to have, and it's a play on words, of course, but I'm very serious about this. You need the semantic keywords on your page or you will not rank for OnPage. You need the helpful keywords on your page or you will not rank for OnPage. You need the experienced words, the words that show you have experience. You need to talk about it in the way that the people with experience in this niche talk about it. You need to use those buzzwords, those catchwords that shows you have the expertise, that shows you are an authority in this topic, that shows therefore you should be trusted. And you need to have the timeliness keywords. You need to be talking about this in the most up-to-date way. You need to show the current knowledge of the topic. You need to have the freshest information. And quite frankly, you need to tell Google what the date is. Having a date on your page probably wouldn't hurt because they want to rank the freshest information, right? Because queries deserve freshness, right? They don't want to rank information from 8 years ago. They want to rank information that is fresh. And I'm not saying anything that hasn't been publicly stated. I'm just wielding this in a way that reminds you that, hey, this is all important for on-page. Don't think for a second this is about off-page links or something like that. These are words that the AI is analyzing your page, and you will not rank unless you do all these things. And not only do you need to do all these things, not only do you need to be an expert in every conceivable niche and write like an expert in every conceivable niche, you need to do it better, sexier, easier, faster, quicker page loads, and you need to do it faster in terms of the pages you crank out on a daily basis. You need to crank out pages on a daily basis in order to beat your competitors, especially the more you move into money niches, the more you need to be a better expert than them. You need to be faster, you need to be nimbler, you need to have better tips, better helpfulness. You need to produce this content better and faster than all of your competitors who've been doing this and have 10,000 page sites, 1 million page sites, because they've been doing this since 2001. And the more you try to get into money niches, the more you're going to find these kinds of competitors exist. So let me take a sip of water. Let me have a dramatic pause. So you might be like, Greg's like, yeah, I've heard this before. So you might be like, holy shit, Josh, holy shit. How is it possible that anyone can compete in any niche at this point? Considering, if that's true, what you just said, Josh, you might be saying to yourself, Josh, I see you there with all that chest hair and all that bravado and all that over-exuberance. And if I'm hearing you right, Josh, you're saying to yourself, SEO is really hard. SEO is really, really difficult. And the answer is, yeah, you're right. It is. It can be. It can be very, very difficult if you don't have AI working for you. This is why we built this AI tool to begin with, because we needed it. Because it was getting too hard to rank in money niches, because that's where we want to rank. We want to make money at SEO. Anyone can rank for an 8-word query that no one's ever typed into Google before. Anyone can do that. That's not where the money is, unless it's a new niche you know is coming up and you had advanced knowledge of it, which is a great way to do SEO, by the way, if you happen to know that's the case. And our tool is going to help you find those niches faster and better than anybody else, by the way. That's coming down the pipe for this year. But you need to do your SEO faster and better than everybody else. And the only way of doing that, other than spending 30 hours per page and inventing another 6 hours per day and never sleeping to produce a page a day, is to do this by AI. That's the only way. You need AI to do the heavy lifting. The AI analyzes hundreds of thousands of data points to come up with all your semantic keywords. The ones that will actually boost you in Google, not the imaginary ones the other tools use, like NLP, imaginary. LSI, imaginary. It is a simple random matter that you happen to have accidentally found keywords with the other tools, because NLP is not an on-page ranking AI that Google uses. That's natural language processing. It's a different kind of AI. They're using large language models. They're using other neural network models that we have rebuilt and we rebuild for you and we do testing for you. Google doesn't use those. Google has publicly produced a documentation of what AIs they use. NLP is not on it, right? They have 4 different on-page AIs there. NLP is not one of them. Same with LSI, that stands for latent semantic indexing. That's not even an artificial intelligence. That's just co-occurrence in a page. If Google ever used that, they stopped using that 20 years ago. It's a 20-year-old, it was like a 1970s theory and like a 20-year-old technology. They don't use that. So you need to use the AI that actually rebuilds the actual model that Google uses if you have any hope of your semantic keywords actually boosting you. And your AI needs to tell you where to put them and not in a spammy way. There's over-optimization thresholds. Did you know that? You won't rank if you're under-optimized, if you're not saying the keywords in the right places enough. And you won't rank if you're over-optimized and you say the keywords too much. You say the too hot keywords too much. And because they're trying to get SEOs who are trying to do this exact thing I'm about to show you how to do. So you need to be in the middle, and only AI can analyze those millions of data points and tell you what the semantic keywords are, where to put them and how to put them. This far, no farther. As Jean-Luc Picard said when he was fighting the Borg, you need to put just enough keywords in the right spots, but you cannot go past that, or you're going to lose your rankings in the right spots. And only AI can tell you how to do this fast enough, other than doing 50 hours of research for a single page. And it finds you the helpful keywords and talks about it like as an expert, or at least it gets you 80% of the way there, right? And then you can add certain things in today, which I'm going to show you how to do. It gets all the expertise, experience, service review keywords, product review keywords that are two AIs that Google publicly released and publicly admitted they have. We have a product review AI for product review pages. We have a service review AI for service review pages, listicle pages, blog best of pages. They have AIs to rate the quality of all these kinds of pages. All the kinds of pages you make and make any money, they have AIs to rate because they want to protect users from thin content, crappy pages. Therefore, they will trust you if you have all those keywords. And then you have to have timeliness keywords as well. You have to make sure you're factual, up to date with timeliness information. And that's a big problem with AI because most AIs are not timely. Most AIs are not up to date. ChatGPT is 2 years out of date, right? Here's another really important pro tip. SEO tip 11.1, don't use ChatGPT for your online content because it can't work. It doesn't work. It doesn't do any of the on-page things that you need to do. It makes you think it does. It's like a simulacrum. It gives you the illusion of doing it, but it really doesn't do it. It doesn't give you the right semantic keywords. It's making a guess as much as anything else is. It'll only be random chance if it gets the keywords right. It's not actually being helpful and up to date because it doesn't know all the helpful keywords you need to do, not unless you give it other information and do special things with it that I'm going to show you today how to do. It's a generalist. It doesn't always know how to specifically talk about things. There's a specific magical way, a nuanced way you need to prompt it to get the right information out of it. And it's not doing it timely. It's 2 years out of date on any given topic. So it's not going to work very, very well to just churn out content. That's not how you need to do it. As I said here, SEO tip number 11 is you need to write your on-page content with AI faster, and ChatGPT can do that for sure, than your competitors. But ChatGPT can't do this part while maintaining superior white hat quality. There's the rub, as the Bard would say. You need to do this faster than everybody else, but it needs to be high quality as well. So that's a pretty high bar to hit, you will admit. And you might be like, Josh, this is impossible. You can't do it. Yes, you can. We have a tool that does it. It does it pretty darn well, actually. The stats show every month in the end of 2023, our rankings were getting better and better every single month. We were getting, on average, an extra point of ranking every month after that. A whole bunch of people did get hit in October, but not many of our users actually. Go back and watch the video. In the knowledge space, in informational queries, we lost a couple points of ranking, if I recall correctly. In the middle of the sales funnel, we didn't even lose a whole point of ranking on average. We lost 0.8 spots of ranking. But for our do queries, at the tail end of the sales funnel, where you need to be where the money is, go back and watch previous videos where I show you how to find the easiest keywords that also make the most money. We gained ranking spots like crazy because Google is punting our competition out of the SERP because they're making thin content. And those people who have absorbed and are obeying this rule to write your on-page content faster with AI than your competitors, but also while maintaining superior white hat quality, those people are succeeding like crazy because Google is doing the honor for us. Google's doing the job for us of punching our competitors out and making it easier. Okay, so with that proviso of what you need to accomplish for on-page SEO, let me give you a tutorial then of how you would use our tool to do on-page SEO. So let me share the screen so Greg can see it as well. All right, so we're in here. The AI is called SEO Copilot AI.com. Go to SEOCopilotAI.com and try the system free for 14 days. You'll see that it is a superior system. It's still a little rough around the edges. We're still working out the kinks and some bugs, but it is by far the best on-page SEO tool for everything you need to do on on-page, including finding the searches you should rank for to begin with, spying on your competitors and spying on Google's AIs to find the boosting keywords, and then investigating the boosting keywords in the reports, which is where we are now, looking in the reports. So you'll see that we have all kinds of scores here. I'll get to that in a second. You can see the difficulty of what's tough or what has a keyword revenue ballpark, which is a rough estimation of the kind of money that's behind these niches. And although, we're not guaranteeing you'll make $1,300 for ranking for this, and we're not in any way guaranteeing you would make, $3,000 a month for ranking for this. But we are saying it is an apples to apples comparison between these different keywords in terms of the difficulty and in terms of the revenue ballpark that you could possibly make in these ones here. So the one I want to look at here is the best SEO outsourcing company. I looked in the keyword discovery for this, and I found under search engine optimization here, I found that the best SEO outsourcing company is actually pretty easy to rank for. It's minus 24% easier than all of SEO here. It's pretty easy to rank for. Not a lot of people are optimizing for this and know how to optimize for this. But it also makes some good money compared to some of the other options that are available, right? So I was like, okay, well, then I'll do a report for it. So I did a report, and the reports are here. And so here's another important thing. So after you've done the report, you go to the report, and it's analyzed all of the semantic keywords for me for sure, what I need to look at. And it's also started with some of the helpful keywords and the experience keywords. Another important thing you need to keep in mind for OnPage is you need to speak to the query intent, right? You need to speak to what these people actually are looking for, right? When they search best SEO outsourcing company. So let me go back here. This will be easier for me to do. I'm getting lazy. When they search for best SEO outsourcing company, I can view the SERP, what it looks like here, and I'm just going to get a general idea of this. We see that they're looking for a list, right? Oh, okay, look, they're looking for a list at the top of SEO outsourcing companies. And then a bunch of companies here are saying, hey, we are the best. So this guy says, and they're ranking number 1, says here's a list of the top SEO outsourcing companies. That's a very important query intent you could see here. And also these guys are saying, hey, we are the company. And also you notice that Easy Rankings says they're the number 1. So that's a very common thing to do in affiliate or any kind of service review page or product review page. If you have one that specifically makes you the most money and you know that you want everyone to choose that one, what do? Well, very easily what you can do is you could say, oh yeah, here's the top 5, but oh, by the way, the number 1 I recommend happens to be us. Like you don't say that, but oh yeah, it's us, obviously, or it's the one that I get the best affiliate commission on, and they click on it and you get the best affiliate commission. Because people are kind of like lemmings, and if you know how to do conversion rate optimization really well, you can funnel them to the choice you want them to make. You say, hey, this is the best one by far, and either you disclose, you have to decide whether it's up to you, whether you want to disclose that, oh, it also happens to be us, or you could be like, you're doing an impartial affiliate review, and I have the most giant scare quotes around impartial. Oh yeah, it also happens to be the one that you make the best affiliate commission on. So that's exactly what Easy Rankings is doing here, and I give them a chef's kiss. That's the exact perfect way of doing it. These guys are doing the type of page the exact right way. And they've nailed the query intent in a really good way in their title. There's some things they're doing wrong here as well, which I will show you how to do it when I do the page. But then pretty much the rest of these guys, and I've already looked at them, the rest of these guys are saying, hey, we are the best outsourcing SEO company. We are the best company that you want to outsource to when you want to white label some SEO and your agency doesn't know how to do SEO or is having trouble doing SEO or has never done SEO before or just fired your SEO team. You might be like, Josh, why is that? Well, look at this. Look how important this is. This is also very important. Look how much higher this particular year-over-year changes. This, to find the best SEO outsourcing company, is up 1,300% in these last 6 months compared to the previous 6 months. And you might be like, why is that, Josh? I could tell you why that is. That's because SEO is hard. And because Google is punting a bunch of lazy SEOs out of the SERP. I'm sorry, I don't mean to ruffle any feathers or hurt anyone's opinion, but I need to talk quickly on the show because I have a lot to say. And quite frankly, there's people who were getting by with lazy SEO, and hey, there's no reason why they shouldn't do lazy SEO. They were getting by with it. But now Google sadly flipped the switch, and a lot of people got hit on October 7th and beyond. And so a bunch of agencies, I can tell you right now, either fired their SEO guy or their team, and or now they're looking to outsource SEO to somebody else. And that's why this is so high. So I've said before, and I'll say it again, the time to do SEO is now. SEO has never been brighter for AI-based SEO. There's huge opportunities of Google punting people off the SERP and getting rid of people who are doing lazy SEO. And those people were doing thin SEO or kind of SEO from 10 years ago or whatever it is, or not really paying that close attention. Now people who are doing SEO with a much smarter AI have huge opportunities to waltz right in and take the money that is now currently on the table. So now is a great time to do SEO. You should redouble your SEO efforts. You should get back into SEO and doing it the right way, like I'm going to show you today on how to do on-page SEO. Okay, so that's very interesting. So I could tell you right now, the query intent you need to determine is this kind of listicle, this kind of review, this service page, where you have a list, the top this, the best that. And that's what you're getting for the best SEO outsourcing company, is these guys are doing the right kind of article. And the secondary query intent, if there is such a thing on this query, is saying, hey, we are the best page. So these guys are saying, hey, here's the top 5, and they just happen to put themselves in the number 1 spot, which is the right way to do it. And the rest of these guys have only a list of only one option, them. And that's everybody else who's ranking in the top 5 or the top 10, okay? Not only, so you can tell that by looking at this at the SERP, which is what a pro SEO might do, but also you can tell this here in the Rank Brain test. Rank Brain here, let me prove it to you. I have a bookmark here, I apologize. Let me get rid of this. Here it is, a guide to Google search ranking systems. BERT is one of their major systems, but also you'll notice here that Rank Brain is a major system. It's an AI system that helps Google understand how words are related to concepts. It means that they can better return relevant content even if it doesn't contain all the exact words used in a search by understanding the content is related to other words and concepts. This is their major AI that they use to rank pages for OnPage. And we spend a lot of time here looking at it in the Rank Brain test. And we score these words. And you're like, Josh, another thing I noticed for this test is a lot of the stop words are ranked really highly. And then the answer for that is yes, they are, because Google uses them. As they said here, it understands how words are related to concepts. All the words are related to the concepts. And if you look at the examples for Rank Brain, the word for is important, like picking up medicine for someone at the pharmacy. That's why the stop words are important, like and, the, you, of, your, we. You need to keep those in mind of what those words are. And this is how I like to use the Rank Brain test. And we're going to build an AI that's going to spell this out for you for easier. But for now, these are the pro tips. And anyone who wants to be a pro using our system, you might look at this manually and spend an extra 20 minutes on each page. You know, if it takes you an hour to pump out a page and you work for 5 hours a day and you pump out 5 high quality white hat pages a day, and you're doing 25 pages a week or 100 pages a month that are a high white hat quality, that's what we're aiming for. That's a good number to aim for. That still has white hat quality, but you're producing at black hat rates. And that's what we want to do, right? We want to produce at shameless black hat rates of speed, but also shameless white hat quality of high quality pages that actually the users are going to love, and you're going to terminate the search, you're going to answer the question, they're going to love what you're doing. So that's what we're doing here. I like to go down this and go, okay, SEO, the SEO your SEO that we with for is services. Your SEO services, outsourcing for your SEO services. I would like to make sentences of the highest words just as I scroll down in my head. You know, your outsourcing services for SEO, your SEO outsourcing services, we get you results. Here's other things you know are important to say in your page, that you're getting them results for your website, that we have the results, we will get you your results. We get you more, right? These are the important adjectives you need to pay attention to for the angle for your article, no matter what it generates. And I'm going to show you this in a second. This is still in the planning of the on-page, but squarely in the on-page section of doing your on-page correctly. I used generate article and it generated a great outsource your SEO to the best company today. Not a bad H1 based on what we're seeing here for the rank brain stuff. But also marketing, we can do your marketing for your business, for your search, outsource with our company. These still have a really high score in the rank brain test, meaning they're going to be golden entities. These are golden entities or golden concepts that the rank brain algorithm is going to be using to rank you. And then also from the time, get if, everything down here, page, business, strategy, team, agency, clients, digital, optimization. This is all really important information that you're going to need to use, I think with 5 and above. Also, finally, there's other ones. There's BERT, which Google also admits they use, which also gives you more multi-word phrases, because BERT is a transformer, like ChatGPT is a transformer. T stands for transformer. And so the best company to outsource your SEO services is like the primary kind of content you're going to want. The top SEO outsourcing companies, again, is what we saw in the querying intent here for the listicle. So that's telling you the kind of stuff you want to do. You can also look at the competitors the way I did here. You can look at the competitors. You can look at their counts for their words. You can check their headings and say, okay, the outsourcing SEO companies, why outsource, the list. You can also see here kind of and get a sense of the information that they're doing as well. Think about outsourcing. What sets us apart? You could tell that these guys did a listicle, obviously, and these guys said, hey, we're the best ones. So you can get all this information here at a glance in the competitor section here as well. You could do that here as well, which is very interesting. You could look at the top 100 words as well and see the absolute frequency, relative frequency of these different words they're using, et cetera, et cetera. And finally, the results here, if you quickly look through it, you could see, okay, the scoring of the phrases based on all the algorithms put together, rank brain BERT and neural matching, put them all together, but also query interpretation and TW BERT, which are 2 other tests that we do as well. Term weighting BERT is a white paper that they put out, and we realized in testing that they are doing term weighting with BERT. So we threw that in there just in case. And query interpretation is also very important. They put a white paper out that they're doing query interpretation. So we have a query interpretation test for you. We have, bar none, with these tests here and with these tests here, and with the competitor analysis as well, we have, bar none, the absolute best on-page entity testing that any other tool does. But don't take my word for it. I'll just show you how it all flows into the page naturally. And then down here you see we have scoring for the different tests. Some of them are like, I don't like this word. Some of them are like, I like this word a lot. And that adds a scoring for us to add them at the end of the day. And these are the words that are going to be used in the article that gets generated at the end of the day here when we do a generate article. So you don't need to do anything here other than, if you want to be a pro, note the entities that this scores highly in terms of the sentences you can get generated from this, and that the sentences that this one does highly. And note what gets scored highly here in terms of ideas for the angle you want to go for your article. And for 80% of the time, the AI is going to do this automatically for you when we generate the article. But you just want to make sure as a human you check this to make sure it's the exact query intent that you want to go for. And that's just a pro tip that would separate the professionals from the amateurs. That would separate the people who are really serious about making the highest quality white hat content versus the people who are going fast and are making, topical cluster supporting pages or something like that. Okay, so now that we've looked at the scoring for these entities, now we have an idea. Okay, we want a listicle. We want to list the best options, and the AI is going to do a lot of heavy lifting to get us all the way there. And so what I did here is I just did generate article, high quality article, and I chose the middle of the sales funnel. I automatically generated URL, title, meta description, heading level 1. I put in an author, which it likes to have a role. You need to put this in here to give it a sense of what kind of expert you are. Of course, as I said, Google only wants to rank pages from experts. So you need to specify in here that you are an expert. And if you want a specific name attached to it or a brand name, you should really put this in here so that the AI has the option of using your name as it writes the article for you. Now, the article is going to automatically choose based on the scoring of the pages that I just showed you, the scoring of these words here and the phrases, it is going to automatically determine what should be put in the article auto-magically. And so let's see what it generated. So the generate article did outsource your SEO to the best company today. It wants to put it's reminding you should be putting an image in here. We can get automatic images in here very, very shortly. In the next few months, we're going to have AI generated images that go in here. And then it highlights when you're using the EMQ. It gives you an introductory paragraph. Then it says why this is important. It's trying to be as helpful as possible. That's how you get the heat score that is higher, which again stands for helpfulness, experience, expertise, authority, trust, and timeliness. That's why you're having a high heat score. This is our proprietary white hat kind of one of our scoring measures that tells you that it's going to be helpful, right? Because you might be like, Josh, how helpful is helpful? Well, we'll tell you. And if the score is in red, that means there's certain things that need to fix. So it might require a little bit of human intervention. But again, the SEO article writer is going to get you 80% of the way there and give you ideas that you might not even thought of. So it's invaluable for pre-writing this content. And I'm going to show you how you can use AI to do the rest of it. You don't actually really have to lift much of a finger. If you did, it would be better. Of course, any human adding more quality into this is going to be better. But I'm going to show you how to do it pretty much with an AI doing pretty much the whole thing. So it gives us some ideas here. It says, here's the access to SEO expertise. Here's cost effectiveness is another major factor that you need to consider. Outsourcing saves valuable time. And it says choosing the right SEO outsourcing company. When selecting it, you need to do this, you need to do that. You want to think of the cost. You want to think of the goals. You want to think of the trustworthiness, which is all good. And then it does exactly what you need to do. The top SEO outsourcing companies. And notice how it put in just dummy content. And it's saying, hey, human, you need to put in your choices here of what it is you want to do, right? Which makes a lot of sense. You need to put your choices in here of what it is you want to do. And again, we saw that in the query intent, and it saw it in the query intent as well, that this is the kind of content you need to generate. And then it gives a conclusion. So it's just a rough outline to start. Sometimes when the topic is really easy, it'll nail the article and you could just go with whatever it generated, as long as the numbers here are good. Sometimes the numbers need to be massaged. And anywhere you see red here, you need to massage these numbers for sure. And you notice the spam score. The only number that it nailed out of the box here is the spam score, which there's a bunch of different spam scores here. It did the spam score for the URL. It did the spam score for the title, which is under the average, which is good. Let's rerun the spam score for the meta description. Now, the spam score is still a new feature. It's a little bit buggy. Sometimes it messes up. See, it's complaining about it being failed. We're working on this particular portion, but it's going to be very, very important for things in the future here. If I do a hard refresh, though, it might come back. Yeah, it came back. So this meta description is actually fine. Now we can run the spam score for the H1. We can run the spam score for the body content as well. And it's less about the score. The score gives you an idea of how good you're doing. On a scale of 1 to 5, how good this is doing. This is from the new UI. It says it's broken even though it's not. If I do a control refresh on this, you'll see that it's done. And it actually liked this H1. It says the H1 directly addresses the most likely query intent and promises to offer the best SEO outsourcing company. It does not repeat the EMQ exactly, which is good, which is a pro tip. However, the use of today at the end is unnecessary and could be seen as promotional and spammy. The H1 could also be more specific in terms of what makes the company the best for outsourcing SEO. It also doesn't have a date quality as well. So this can be improved, although automatically generated, it is under the average of 3.83 of how spammy the competitors are. And last but not least, it's going to do I'll just do the spam score here for the body content. It says it failed even though it didn't. I bet you if I force refresh this, I bet you this will be back. It is. So it says, okay, so this is the major thing that you need to improve. It's in the red. It says the content includes keyword stuffing with the phrase best SEO outsourcing company. Again, another pro tip. This system is trying to help you make white hat content and to not shoot yourself in the foot. Remember when I said in OnPage that there's a too low in terms of the semantic score overall is too low. We need to be between 58 to 68 for the Google semantic score. However, we cannot do that, as it says here, by stuffing in the EMQ, which is the best SEO outsourcing company, and best SEO outsourcing, which is another query deserves diversity kind of way of interpreting this query. So it says these phrases are used multiple times and are not integrated naturally into the content. It's been stuffed in there. The repetition seems targeted towards search engine ranking rather than providing valuable information to the reader. Again, it's going to try to be as helpful as possible, but remember I said the AI is a generalist. So the AI will get better at doing this over time as we are building more articles, but it is entirely possible that the human touch is going to get you the rest of the way there that you need to be. So AI getting you 80% of the way there and reducing 50 hours of work to about 50 minutes of work is still a godsend. It is still what you need to do for SEO moving forward in this AI age. So it says a quality rater would likely flag this content for keyword stuffing and low quality content. So then it gives you some suggestions. To improve the content, should focus on providing valuable information about factors to consider when outsourcing SEO services without repeatedly emphasizing being the best. It should offer insights on access to expertise. Now, that's really important that it said that, because remember the competitors, and that the competitors are talking a lot about how they're the best. Remember these competitors here? And except for this guy here, which is doing a listicle, which is ranking number 1, which is not a surprise. That's what you want to do. These guys are saying, hey, we're the best. You should outsource to us. You could dominate SEO, blah, blah, blah. These are really bold statements that are a little on the spammy side, quite frankly. And that's exactly what my spam AI is noticing here. The spam AI is saying, hey, you should give valuable information about the actual factors to consider, which it tried to do. The high quality article tried to do that, arguably, without, however, repeatedly emphasizing that you are the best or they need to be the best. It should offer insights on access to expertise and how outsourcing can benefit a business. Additionally, the use of synonyms, variations, and a more natural integration of the targeted phrases can help reduce the spam score. So this is a red spam score that you definitely need to deal with, and it's reminding you there's a red one here by giving you this flag. So make sure you watch for this flag, and we're going to have flags like this on other things that are going to be an issue for you. Weird how it made this all caps. Okay, so let me just do this for a second here. There we go. Print screen, print screen. Okay. Actually, let's do this. Okay, good. So let me just print that here. Sorry, 1 second. Boom. Okay, I've captured that bug. Great. Okay, so moving back onto here. Again, it's doing it. It just has a little bug there. And the URL is fine. It would be better. It's going to complain. It includes the exact match query once in the slug. There is no repetition of major entities or EMQs. The syntax is also good with the dash between the words. It would be better if you put in the full URL here. If you went www.whatever.com/best SEO outsourcing, for example. So what happens when I do that? Whatever.com, best SEO outsourcing, best SEO outsourcing company. What happens to the spam score when I do that? I think you're going to notice a difference here. It's going to give this little error again, which is, again, not true. It's perfectly fine. If I hit Control R and refresh this, and I go back to this, you see how it suddenly didn't like it. Danger, apparent SEO repetition. The URL repeats the main entity, best SEO outsourcing, twice, which is not ideal and makes it too rich in SEO terms. So even though it reverted back to the original one, it did send the other one there, and that tells you you do not want repetition here. Avoid repetition here, or you're going to get a higher spam score listed here, right? You have to be very, very careful about those kinds of things. So let me also take a print screen of this and add in a PowerPoint here.
I think it didn't save because you refreshed quickly and it didn't auto save in that time period. I think that's why it didn't not save for any other reason or get cut off. It's just refreshed quickly.
Yeah, refreshed too quickly. Well, yeah, actually, people are not going to have to and people are not going to have to do that if it's not giving an error. So actually, I don't need to write that down at all. Okay, so let's go back to the article then. So based on that spam score information, again, really important information. Don't want to do the repetition there, but really for the on-page content, the spam score is guiding you here. And we're going to actually add in a chatbot here, which is going to extend the SEO Copilot kind of AI Copilot features that we're doing. And you could actually ask it, okay, what can I do? What should I do? Those kinds of questions. That's coming down the pipe in the next couple of months. But right now, what you want to do is read this. You can even take a screenshot of it if you want. You can take a screenshot of this and be like, okay, like what is going on here? Why are you saying these things? That kind of a deal. All right, so what it said for us is that although you clearly are trying to show some quality here, you're saying the actual EMQ too much and the two hot words too much, and you're saying synonyms too little. That's why the quality score is too low. So we need to reduce the spam score, that 70% that was here. And sometimes when you rerun it, it'll give you a slightly different score. Now it hits it even more, which is fine. It's more about, again, what the content says than the number, especially that number, because that number can vary to 10 or 20 points. It's fine. But it's kind of really, it's either going to say, yes, a quality rater is going to rank this page number 1 or not. So you might be like, okay, Josh, I get it. The H1 I didn't think was that bad. We could definitely make this better. And we need to find an image that's going to go in here. You're going to have to do that manually until we're auto-generating an image from DALL-E or something along those lines.
That's funny because it actually does do it. If you go to content and look at the image, it should be there. It's just not rendering in that.
No, it's
AI image not generated yet. Okay, so it somehow that failed, but that usually does work when you do the high quality.
Okay. Let me take a print screen of that. Okay. So you might be like, okay, Josh, so how can we see what we need to do. We need to make this a higher quality content. We need to add more helpful tips. Also, our heat score is too low. It says, does the content provide insightful analysis or interesting information beyond the obvious? Anything that is a 6 out of 10 or lower is just not good enough, right? So we're flagging it here for your attention. Are you producing lots of content on different topics in the hope that, is it just SEO content? Yes, that's what that's saying there. Did you enter some niche topic without any real expertise because you thought you'd get search traffic? Again, doesn't show enough expertise. If you see any 6s in this heat score, those are things that need to be fixed. So the spam score is saying that it's not helpful. It's getting there, but it's not helpful enough. The heat score is saying it's getting there, but it's not helpful enough. The AI is like, hey, I'm getting the kind of the bare bones what you want me to do here. I know that you want to have tips. I know that you want to do a listicle of the different pages, but I only generated 500 words because I don't know what else to say. I'm going to need some help with this, the high quality article says. And really the competitors on average, the top 10 median word count is around 2,800 words. And that's another reason partially why, quite frankly, the semantic score is so low, because we need way more words here. We need more headings. On average, the competitors have 43 headings on average, right? We don't need to match that necessarily, but the closer we get to that, the closer we get to this, the better we'll do. Also, it's saying we're just 0.36 points away from where you need to be. We've analyzed tens of thousands of pages, tens and tens of thousands, probably close to 100,000 pages now we've analyzed. And we know that to rank number 1, your average predictability length, which is kind of an AI content factor, which is the average number of predictable words in a row, needs to be 4.1 words in a row. It's actually not words, it's tokens, which is word pieces, but I'll just say words for simplicity. In terms of the words in a row on average, you can't have any more than 4 on average that are predictable. That's when Google will nab you and know that this is AI content. And it just happens to rank much, much worse, like a night and day difference, the higher you are over 4.1. So just to be clear, you need to make sure that anything you see here in red, and anything you see here in red, and anything you see here in red needs to be dealt with, or you're not going to rank. And it is a night and day difference between, yes, you will rank and rank highly, or no, we see some red here, or here, or here in this, meaning you're not going to rank. You need to be in these ratios. We have, at this point, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of data points to prove that this is the case. And so this is how you use AI to go faster. This is how you use AI to do your on-page, and it's getting to be a no-brainer. Instead of 50 hours of work and pulling your hair out and humming and hawing and wondering, should I stick this keyword in here? Should I stick this keyword in there? Now you're getting to the point where the AI very clearly tells you in these very easy to understand metrics and breaking it down on a laser focus of each different one here of where you need to be. And you need to be in the green for all of these. And we'll tell you this here. We'll also tell you this in the reports. In the reports, we'll tell you with green and red whether you actually have the right content here. It's green or red, I believe, at least so I'm told. It is green or red here, right? I'm red or green colorblind. It's a little small. We're going to put X's and check marks beside these so you can just tell at a glance.
Yes. Green and red's correct.
It is green and red, yeah. Just to make it easier for those people like me who are, and I can't remember the fancy word for green and red colorblindness, but for those people like me who are red and green colorblind, we're gonna put X's and check marks here just so you can tell at a glance which pages that you're working on or which pages your employees are working on, that they've nailed the actual right metrics for this. And you can also see the difficulty at a glance. And you can also see the revenue ballpark at a glance, so you know where you're spending your money and where you want to spend your money. Okay, so Josh, how does the rubber hit the road? How do I make this article, after I generate it, you could just do a high quality article to start, a low quality article will use less credits, or a high quality article will actually produce a slightly better article with an image and with lists and things like that. And it'll be more factual and up to date. It burns with a few more credits to do that. So it's your choice which one you want to do in the system. But how
credits are unlimited, so don't even worry people about credits.
Oh,
AI credits have been unlimited for I don't know how many months, but yeah, we just did
mistake. Okay, so for this aspect of it, the credits are unlimited to generate articles. My mistake. Thank you, Greg, for correcting me there. So that doesn't matter actually at the end of the day. Just some people like the article versus the high quality article. It depends what it gives you to write. I would always do the high quality article, quite frankly. In that case, in fact, we can remove the article. If credits are no longer an option, we can remove the article, quite frankly. So that's another note I can make. So I would always do the high quality article. It's going to give you slightly better results. And that's what we'll be updating over time. But you might be like, okay, Josh, so how do we make it better? Obviously, we need to make it seem more expertise. The heat score complained about that. The spam score complained about that. It's not expertise enough. We need to add more content while reducing the keyword stuffing. Okay, so the first thing you do is you manually go through and you don't do keyword stuffing anymore. You're like, okay, so best SEO outsourcing company, we want to get rid of that. So we want to say top outsourcing companies for your business. So now it's no longer EMQ here, and we can say recheck work. And I should recheck a number of the things here going on, including the words, what's going on in the score. Okay, it did that. So it gave us a sense of where we made that change there. Now, what we need to do here is go manually and change these things. And so when selecting an outsourcing company for your business, remember the following. We want to move this to the top because remember we wanted this to be a listicle that was at the top. We could put those underneath. I mean, it's a matter of debate, actually. I kind of like these at the top. So let's keep this here. Let's keep the top outsourcing companies here. Now let's see. We have some tips here which are helping people out. But we can add more tips that are going to help more people out, is what we can do. So this is what I would do. You can write it manually if you want, or what I would do, I would go here to the content tab, and I would go here to the helpful content update. And I would click all of these things, because this is exactly what Google wants you to do. Demonstrate first-hand expertise and a depth of knowledge. After reading your content, will someone leave feeling they've learned enough about a topic to help achieve their goal? You need to terminate the search. Will someone reading your content leave feeling like they've had a satisfying experience? Are you mainly summarizing what others have to say without adding much value? Does your content leave readers feeling like they need to search again to get better information from other sources? You don't want that to be the case. You want them to have the full information here. So I'll say write this, and the AI is going to come up with some more tips that maybe it didn't do before, and we can pick and choose the right ones. So I'm going to just highlight all of this, whether I'm writing it or not, and I'm going to copy and paste it, close, and I'm going to add it all into here. I'm going to add it all in. And so that is going to be good information, possibly, depending on what they're doing here. Then the next information we're going to do, and again, you would need to edit this manually. I'm going to go in here to Product Review AI, and I'm going to choose only a few of these. I'm going to say, okay, I want to express expert knowledge about products where appropriate. I want to provide quantitative measurements about how a product measures up in various categories of performance. These various categories can be important. Explain what sets a product apart from its competitors. A product could also be a service, right? Or the thing in question. I want to cover comparable products to consider. I want to discuss the benefits and drawbacks of each particular product. And I want to identify key decision-making factors for the product's category. Again, it's not specifically a product. It's a product, it's a service, it's the thing in question that you're trying to get the AI to write important information about. So this is one easy way that you don't have to really lift a finger. You can just do kind of a smorgasbord or a buffet of information. You could pick the information that you want to add in. And so I'm going to highlight this whole thing and copy and paste it. And close this and paste this in here like so. Okay. So now that we've put in this information, now you would have to go through and edit this and trim it down. But now you've got all the helpful information and ideas and tips and tricks that maybe you didn't even consider, quite frankly. Now, check to see what happens now with our semantic score. Check to see how it's gone up because we put more keywords in. Check to see what happens with the heat score. Hopefully this has gone up somewhat. Now, quite often when you're doing this, not always, but quite often when you're doing this, it will clear up all the sixes because it has way more good information in it now that people have been looking for. All these tips, the pros and cons, the concerns they need to consider, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Sadly, it still has a 6 here, but it's the last one. So it got better. It's the last one that I can see. It's just, it needs to be a little bit more insightful. It needs to have interesting information that is beyond the obvious. I'm glad it did this. It fixed the other 6s automatically, but it still has this one. It's still saying, Google's saying, look it's still a little obvious. It's not insightful enough. It's not interesting enough. You need to improve it just a little bit more. I'm glad it did that because I want to show you the next pro tip of how you can do that. Okay, so again, the spam score will be better, and I can also do the spam score, and let me show you. I'll redo the spam score here. It's going to give that fake error message. It didn't fail though. When I go back, oh, it's even worse. It says the content contains a high level of keyword stuffing with the phrase best being replaced with top while attempting to evade the exact banned phrases by substituting synonyms. The intent and pattern of repetition for SEO ranking purposes are evident. Engaging in practice raises the spam score significantly and signals the attempt to manipulate search engine rankings. It doesn't like it because I haven't fleshed out the article. I just have those gross lists I pasted in there. Although the attempt to use a synonymous phrase is noted, the content still fails into keyword stuffing. A clear focus on providing valuable information and insights without repetitive emphasis on being the best or top can help reduce the spam score. Using a more natural integration of targeted phrases and synonyms, it's saying you haven't naturally integrated it. So that's fine. That score will go down. The heat score is getting better because I jammed this in here, but the spam score doesn't like the fact I have all these gross lists with no H1s or H2s. I have no intro or outro for this. I'm not discussing. I have add cancel. Like clearly it just added this in to make like a rough draft, and now I need to go through this and edit it more. However, and I'm getting more content, but I need even more, 2800 apparently. You don't necessarily need to match that. I need to add in more headings as well, but I need to get more content. But this has gone up and the heat score has gotten better. I still need to make it a little bit more insightful. And so I would need to go through, as I said, and edit this and pick and choose what has already been said and make some actual good lists here. I also need to choose my top companies and put them in here. But it's very easy to just click these buttons and get the content added in, and it could have a gem of suggestions in here that I didn't previously consider, which is also very important, for example. But here's another thing I can do. When I'm going through and doing this, and remember, the heat score is like you need to be less obvious and more insightful. This is another thing I can do. I can be like, okay, if I'm like, I want to be a little bit more obvious and insightful, I could just do this. I can go, okay, here is some insightful tips that are less obvious from insightful pro tips that are less obvious to help you select the absolute best outsourcing company for your agency. I can write this and I can highlight it and then I can click the upscore button. And it doesn't work always, but this is a good way that you can start getting some tips in here that will helpfully help out to getting what it is you want in here. It's this kind of prompting idea. And I can do a hard return here, and I can flesh this out like this. And then it automatically makes it into a list for me. And if the content is in the interwebs at all, if there are any insightful tips out there at all, this is going to help you out. So I get rid of this sentence here, and I want to use this, and I want with our WYSIWYG editor here to make this an H2. Okay, so now let's see what that did. Let's see, focus on proven strategies. Look for an agency that has a track record of success with clients. That's a good tip. A company that can demonstrate their expertise through case studies and client testimonials is more likely to deliver results for your business. White hat techniques. Ensure that the outsourcing company uses ethical and sustainable SEO practices. Another good tip. Avoid firms that engage in black hat tactics, as they can harm your website's reputation and rankings in the long run. Expert team. Choose a firm with a dedicated team of professionals who specialize in different aspects of search engine optimization. This ensures you have access, blah, 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 local or global focus, proven results. So those are all great, insightful pro tips. Now let's see if I click the heat score. You might need to try some trial and error here by getting it to write you some more tips and things. But you notice how I didn't really need to know anything about this? The score did go up and it is now green. Da, 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 da. There you go. That's how you solve all the 6s, and you didn't have to lift your finger and write a damn thing. All you did, actually that's not true, I lied. You had to write one sentence and tell the AI, this is what I want. And you prompted it and did the upscore button. Also by doing the upscore button, it stuffed in a whole bunch of more keywords, and I'm getting the semantic score higher as well. So we're gonna make a cleaning AI that goes through and removes all the EMQs for you. But right now you have to manually remove the EMQs, you have to manually remove the keyword stuffing kind of stuff that it's doing. And like this, you need to remove this, you need to remove this manually right now. That's why we highlight it for you so you can see at a glance. But slowly but surely I can get all the scores into the right zone. What I need to do now is get this much higher than the content score by adding way more content. And then I start highlighting sentences like this, and then I use the down score button. And by using the down score button and replacing it, once I do 50% of the content and bring this score down, it'll bring this score down and this score down by using the down score button. And then you get in the range here because you went higher than the range, and you get in the range here by using the down score button, and you get the average predictability length to 4.1 or less. But you still have the information you need to make it helpful, and you're talking about it like you have experience and expertise, authority, and trust. And that will also bring the spam score down after I get rid of these gross lists and format the content to obviously be a high quality article. Right now, it's not a high quality article. Of course, a quality rater is not going to rank this page 1. It's not formatted right. Like I have some obvious formatting issues that I'll need to fix, but our AI will be doing that for you automatically soon anyway. All right, so basically that is in a nutshell how to get your SEO on-page content quickly using an AI that does it faster than your competitors at black hat speeds and black hat laziness, don't tell anyone, but with white hat quality. And we are one of the only tools that will show you what that is with our proprietary heat score and our proprietary spam scores. So it's super exciting to do on-page SEO. It's super exciting to do SEO period in this day and age. And this is how you do it. This is how you beat the competitors by having a better product that costed you less, that you did way, way faster. Let me say that again. This is how agencies pay attention. In-house SEOs pay attention. Any SEOs pay attention. This is how you succeed in SEO 2024 and beyond. This is how you get a superior product without having to know a damn thing about the niche, that you just have to do some formatting for afterwards, that our AI is eventually going to do all for you anyway, that you did faster than the competition, it cost you way less to do it, and it has a superior quality than the competition. This is how you do all those things for your on-page using one AI in one fell swoop. Go to SEOCopilotai.com to try it for free for 14 days, for 2 weeks. Not only this, but check the description, and any subscribers to the channel have a free coupon code in the description of this video and many other videos to get 10% off when you finally want to sign on to SEO Copilot, and you definitely will. As our Copilot is just going to get better and better at being your Copilot and helping you with all your on-page SEO, and then we'll start adding in off-page SEO as well.
Yeah, can you also add that one sentence you included and then did the up arrow in the YouTube comments or somewhere where people can, as well as myself, get that? Because that was a trick that I didn't even know about.
Yeah.
So that was really cool. So share that somewhere where we can all access it.
Gladly. I'll gladly put that in the description. I'll put that in the comments. I'll put that in the community. I'll gladly put that in all those places. It's a very pro tip on how to use this tool, which has everything every other AI tool has that's good and does nothing of the mistakes that they do, and does it all better. So keep watching our channel for more SEO tips, more SEO courses, and good luck in the SERPs. And we'll see you next time.